You know, I was thinking about this. CM Punk's on the show today.
Yes.
Joel Klatt's going to yell at me on the show today.
Yes.
Nick Wright will make fun of me on the show today. David West, former NBA'er's on the show. He looks great, by the way. He looks like 20 pounds. Those power forwards get out of the league.
He's not going to argue with you today?
No, he probably won't. He's a good dude. Bucky Brooks, we're packed today. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning.
Good morning. Let me just give you a hypothetical. So let's say you had a really, and I'll just speak for guys here. I had you had a brother. And your brother was more successful than you, but he lived in North Carolina and you lived in Texas, so you didn't have to be reminded of it every day. But what if your brother you lived in Los Angeles and your brother lived right next to you? And every year he had a new car and his kids went to a private school. And every time they went on a vacation, they were suntan, they look great. And you got to be reminded every day how much more successful. His wife's got beautiful ring on. Looks like a skating rink. She got a new ring and a new car and a new... after a while, you'd be like, enough already. I'm tired of my... We all get that LeBron and the Lakers play in the same building as Kawhi and the Clippers. We all know historically the Lakers matter and the Clippers are irrelevant, right? Did you see what happened last night with LeBron? Oh, yeah, he was amazing again. He's now the best point guard in the league. The Lakers are the best team in the league, 12-2. Statistically, it is unbelievable. He last night, first player with a triple-double versus all 30 teams. He's all over Instagram, giving shout-outs to his mom. He's all over, oh, my Lord. And the Clippers are wondering tonight, is Kawhi going to play tonight? Because he's missed 5 of the 14 games. When your neighbor's buying a new car and buying his wife a new skating rink to put in her hand and they keep putting it in your face, once again, the Clippers are invisible. The Lakers brand, which has always been bigger, is winning, and their superstar is playing every night and playing his ass off. The Clippers brought in Kawhi. They didn't just bring him in for June. Don't get me wrong. It works in Toronto. It works in San Antonio. But this is an incredibly competitive, distracted market. The beach, the mountains, the shopping, the Dodgers, USC, UCLA, soccer teams, 2 NFL teams, and LeBron shares the building. And LeBron's playing every night. Remember Steve Ball? The Clippers didn't bring Kawhi in just to be icing. They want some cake, too. They brought him in to get market share, to get some buzz, to get some headlines, to get talked about. Is he playing tonight? Because, you know, he can't play on back-to-backs, even though he's fairly young. And LeBron's absolutely on fire. You cannot tell me there's not tension in the room in Clipperland. You can't convince me of it. By the way, when Steve Ballmer had that press conference, remember that press conference? And Steve Ballmer's a highly energized guy to begin with. Remember this?
I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Woo! You don't think we can win some ball games this year with Paul and Kawhi on our team? We're going to win some ball games. I got to say, being number 2, being number 4, we're only here for one reason. We want to win it all. There's only one reason. From now on, it's all about the Larry O.B.
And if they don't win, let's say, you know, like LeBron gets to the finals. Oh, the way he does when he's healthy every year. You're not winning October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So Lakers going to win all those months? You put all your eggs in the basket. Like, for June. I don't think Steve Ballmer did that. I think Steve Ballmer wanted market share. I think he wants a new arena. I don't think he wants to be second fiddle a single day in Los Angeles. And maybe they win, and it doesn't matter. And I'm just, Jerry West doesn't care today. But when your neighbor's buying his wife a skating rink to put in her finger every other year, and the Lexus and the private school for the kids, and you're reminded every single day, he was always the apple of mom's eye, and he still got it. LeBron is just kicking the Clippers' butt, owns the city, and I get load management. Like, it works. I get it. But I think it works better in Toronto than Los Angeles. We got major market media, major distractions, and LeBron owns this city, and Kawhi on most nights now isn't even playing or competing against him. I think there's tension in the Clipper building. I don't think they love it. I think you can say you'll tolerate stuff, but God, doesn't it sting a little now that LeBron is, oh wait, the best player in the league, and maybe by like a yard or two. They didn't bring Kawhi in here just for the icing. They wanted a little cake. And the story tonight, nobody's sure if he's going to play, and he's already missed 5 of 14 games. I get the load management. I do think it plays better when your neighbor isn't jamming it in your face every night and getting all the headlines. All right, so I read a column from a Dallas writer. Tim Kalishaw says, is the Cowboys key to upsetting the Patriots Dak Prescott out-dueling Tom Brady? No, that's not really what it's going to be. Let me first state this. 5 of Dallas's 6 wins, let me just state this, are against Eli Manning benched, Case Keenum benched, Josh Rosen benched, Jeff Driscoll backup, and Daniel Jones in his 7th NFL start. Aaron Rodgers ate up the Cowboys. Sam Darnold ate up the Cowboys. Kirk Cousins ate up the Cowboys. And Teddy Bridgewater beat the Cowboys. Okay, Dallas's defense has struggled to take the ball away from bad quarterbacks, and they're not getting a ton of sacks against average offensive lines. But this game, to me, does not boil down to Dak. Dak's good. It doesn't boil down to the Cowboys' offensive line or Zeke. They're good. Or the weapons, all good. Dak's getting his money, should get his money. This is a referendum on Jason Garrett. Las Vegas has made the spread in this game 6.5 points. That is an absurd line for a New England team that can't score and a Dallas team that may have 8 of the 10 best players in this game. This is all about Jason Garrett. And if Dallas loses Sunday against the Patriots, they will be 0-4 against Green Bay, Minnesota, the Saints, and the Patriots. Jerry is not paying him to beat Miami and the rebuilding Giants. He's paying Jason Garrett because now we know Dak's fine. Dak's better than fine. Dak's probably now top 10. Dak's improving in every single statistical category. Sunday, this column, Sunday's not about Dak. It's not about Dak. Dak's getting his money. Dak deserves every penny of it. Dak's made Jerry a fortune. It is a complete and utter referendum on Jason Garrett. And when Jerry Jones gets into his Gulfstream on Sunday night, 3.5-hour bumpy flight out of windy, snowy New England, and he loses by 10 to a 41-year-old Tom Brady or 42-year-old with no deep threat, no Gronk, he's not going to be happy. It's going to be varying degrees of how ticked off Jerry Jones is. You know, I don't think it's a coincidence that Jerry Jones talked at length, told a story about a certain coach he bumped into years ago this week, the coach being, of course, Bill Belichick.
I was skiing after our season was over, the Cowboys season was over, and I was renting skis for my grandkids, and there was a line, and somebody bumps up against me a few times, and I turn around, and there was this guy that I couldn't make of him because he had his ski stuff on and goggles, and it was Bill. And, of course, he no longer had a job. He had been with Cleveland, and they'd let him go up there. He said, boy, listen, said, I can coach. Said, if you ever get an opportunity, don't forget about me. I've thought about that many times. You never know when you can find a great coach.
Interesting week to bring up that story and tell it on radio, don't you think? Sunday is not about Dak. It's about Jason Garrett. And if they lose, and maybe by over a touchdown, Jerry's going to make a decision on that 3.5-hour flight. And he may be telling another story about Belichick on the radio Monday in Dallas. Coming up, college football comes out again last night. We've got another bracket coming out. The playoff seeding came out, and once again, they're telling you what they think. And a big chunk of the country doesn't want to hear it. But I'm not so sure the committee's wrong. That's coming up. Tommy John is the revolution in underwear. By the way, I'm wearing it right now, not to undress, but I got a Tommy John shirt on. Revolutionary underwear, loungewear, and clothing brand that guarantees a perfect fit. And let's be honest.